It's a pleasure to be here today, and it's a really great doing this co-promotion together with Top Rank and Bob Arum. I've always had a long-standing and good relationship with Top Rank and with Bob, and I think Bob's really one of the pioneers of the sport as it is today. As a number of people mentioned, you know, this show on Saturday night with these 3 great world championship fights, the value of the ticket for this show, especially in such an arena like the theater at Madison Square Garden, is unbelievable. I think it's a great way to kick off 2013. With that being said, I want to acknowledge Abel Sanchez, trainer of Gennady Golovkin. He's got a great training facility up in Big Bear, California. I think he's one of the best in the world. And then I have to give a lot of credit to Russell Peltz and Gabriel ROSADO, who it's no secret that we've had problems finding opponents to fight Gennady. I think kind of his legend precedes him, and with his knockout power and everything like that. And when I had contacted Russell, and Peter was very instrumental in helping put the deal together, there was really no hesitation when he had spoken to Gabriel. There was no hesitation. I think this will be a great fight. I mean, ROSADO proved last year with all of his wins by knockout that he's a very credible opponent, and he had no hesitation accepting the challenge. So I want to introduce Russell Peltz, and he can introduce Gabriel. Thank you.
He is one of the most unknown and underrated trainers today, Billy Briscoe.
Thank you, everybody. You know, when Gabi got an opportunity to take this fight, we didn't even think twice about it because, you know, Gabi dares to be different. He dares to take the road less traveled. He's a throwback fighter. You know, me and him, we're not old in chronological age, but in boxing mentality, we take from the old school masters. You know, and they used to always tell me when I was a kid, first thing you got to remember in boxing is you never let a man's name, reputation, or record beat you. If anything, you let the man beat you. Then you do everything in your power to make sure that don't happen. And believe me, we've done everything in our power to make sure that won't happen. Gabi is very underrated in his boxing IQ. This man, his boxing IQ is unbelievable. His regular IQ is unbelievable as well. But this boxing IQ, man, he can analyze and break down fights, break down fighters. It's unbelievable, man. It's an uncanny ability to see things, little minute things, but as we all know in boxing, it's all the little things that come together that makes a big difference. And, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, why would you give up the #1 rating in the world in the IBF, you know, to K9? It's pretty simple, because Gabi dares to be great, basically, like I just said. You know, and if we were to beat K9, people say, oh man, the guy's 38 years old, and, you know, he ain't been that active, and da-da-da. But when we fight Golovkin, believe me, Golovkin's the real deal. He is all they say he is, probably more. But at the end of the day, you know, he's a fighter, and all fighters are beatable. And we believe that we have the proper formula. You know, because you plan your fight your plan, but when all else fails, you know, you got to make the adjustment. And one that can make the adjustment 9 out of 10 times, you're going to be the one that pulls off the win. Of course, Golovkin got Abel Sanchez in the corner, tremendous trainer. Tremendous, beautiful work with Terry Norris and a lot of other guys. So he has help in the corner to make adjustments too, but I gotta be honest with you. We're gonna win this fight. I don't put prediction on rounds, but I don't see it going the distance. You know, because it's gonna be like, remember years ago, the cartoon, when the Tasmanian Devil fought somebody and you seen the big whirlwind? Well, we're gonna see a big whirlwind on HBO come Saturday night. But the only difference is when the whirlwind's on, the only one's gonna be standing is gonna be my guy. Thank you.
The woman who works in my office says, you gotta stop calling him Gabe. He doesn't like to be called Gabe. I said, what does he like to be called? He likes to be called Gabi, and after reading all the press for this fight, I understand why. Gabriel ROSADO.
First and foremost, I want to give God all the praise and the glory for this opportunity. I want to thank the champion for giving me this opportunity, and HBO, and Russell Peltz, and my trainer, for mentoring me and making me the fighter that I am today. like Billy said, I turned down my #1 spot at 54 against K9 because, you know, greater risk, bigger reward. And I'm just extremely excited about this fight. You know, I came up the hard way. Nothing was given to me, nothing was handed to me. You know, I had to learn on the job, fighting guys with great amateur backgrounds, and I was just learning. But, you know, you learn from adversity. Adversity is gonna make you or break you, and it made me. You know, I'm extremely confident that I'll be victorious on the 19th. I train extremely hard. And I know this guy has the will to win, and so do I, but I think at the end of the day, this fight is gonna determine on who's the smarter guy and who can make the better adjustments. And I'm confident that I will. And I just, I wanna thank my mother who's right there in the back, who's been my #1 supporter. Mom, I love you. My father, I got my brothers out here. I wanna give a shout out to Puerto Rico. Le quiero dar un saludo a Puerto Rico porque aunque no nací en la isla, boricua de corazón soy. Esta pelea se la dedico a Puerto Rico y a todos los latinos. Thank you, God bless.
He did give up the mandatory position, a guaranteed title fight against the K9 Budridge at 154. And secondly, which was really, I think, pretty much unprecedented, the agreed upon weight was a catch weight. And as Russell said, he didn't want any excuses. So that really shows, that's a credit to his willingness, you know, to fight for the middleweight championship. With that being said, I want to introduce someone that we think is the best middleweight in the world today. I don't think that's boasting. It's just a matter of him showing it on television. I think you'll see his skills on Saturday night. Gennady Golovkin, you have to excuse, this will be his 4th language he's speaking in English, so he's still learning English, but he speaks Kazakh, Russian, and German, and so he's going to do this press conference in English. Gennady, can you come on?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy to stay here in New York City. Thank you very much, Madison Square Garden family. Special thank you very much for HBO team. No. Muchas gracias for Gabriel, for your team. I'm happy. I think it's a very great fight for us, for him, for me. Thank you, everybody. Good to see you guys.